Hey gang, guess who I have on the studio? On the studio? In the studio.
Also on the studio. Here to help.
So we're doing a video on ETAT LIBRE DORANGE fragrances, who Dahlia is a big fan of. Are you a fan?
One of my top 3
Really?
most purchased brands.
Okay. I'm a big fan. I
Huge
discovered them in 2014 in their store in Paris. And since then,
in Paris.
been a fan. But you know what? We have one very polarizing fragrance here that... No, we don't have one of the most polarizing fragrances here, but we're going to talk about it. It's Secretions Magnifique. But this is a top 20 list, unranked. Find out about ETAT LIBRE DORANGE coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. This is Dahlia. How you guys doing?
They're not going to answer.
Let us know if you're a fan of ETAT LIBRE DORANGE and what your favorite fragrances are. Put a comment down below. What do you like about ETAT LIBRE DORANGE?
They were pushing the envelope out there with Comme des Garçons back in the 2000s when I first started getting into perfume.
So you discovered them that long ago?
I did. I started with Dior, and then I found Lucky Scent. Then I somehow ended up with Fat Electrician.
We have it here.
I know. Love it. And I wore through that whole bottle. So I don't know if it was, I don't know what year it was, but it was a while ago. And it was one of the first niche brands I bought and wore, and they're really exciting.
Yeah.
I would love to go to their store in Paris.
It's like a porn shop.
As you've said. And Etienne is so nice. And
he's very nice,
so
yes.
poetic.
He's
Brilliant.
a nice man.
Yeah. It's really difficult to be interesting and different and creative without being sort of off and weird and gross. And ETAT LIBRE DORANGE does that again and again.
They do a good job. Yeah, if you are in Paris, go to their store. It's a archive. What is it?
It's like the perfume name.
Yeah, the perfume name.
Archive 69.
Archive 69. So, and like I said, it's like a perfume porn shop. Go there. There's nice people working there. They'll give you a rundown of the entire brand, and you'll...
They're pushing the envelope. They've taken notes that were like not cool anymore and made them cool again.
Yeah.
For example, aldehydes.
Yeah.
We could just fangirl and fanboy here for the entire video, but maybe we should dive in.
We should dive in. But before we do, if you are a fan of Rien or were curious about it, we have a video on the channel a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
We do a comparison of the original Rien with Rien Intense Incense.
So intense.
Yeah, they're both really great fragrances. But we're going to dive in right now and starting with the first fragrance called I Am Trash. What do you think about I Am Trash?
Truly, every time I see the name, I think of Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street singing, I love trash.
Is that what he's saying?
Everything dirty and icky and mucky. This is a great story about recycling and awareness of ingredients.
Yeah. Upcycling is what they call it. Yeah.
They took apples that were not pretty enough to sell. Is that right?
I think something like that. Ones that would get thrown in trash, they would use those to create this fragrance.
But a lot of the ingredients too,
yeah.
I think that's how they built it.
Yeah, upcycling is what it's called.
And it's a very clean kind of scent, actually, considering that it's
very fruity.
Yeah, it's apple-y, definitely.
It's very apple-y, but also very woody. It has ISOE Super, Akigalawood, which is a Givaudan proprietary ingredient, because this is created by Daniela Andrier. Her name will come up quite a bit, but it's mostly woods and apples.
Apples are prominent.
Very juicy apples. Do you
wear
it?
But it's clean, it's bright. There's nothing really garbagey at all about this.
No.
It's just kind of a shocking name.
It's a shocking name. That's kind of what they're known about.
Oh my God,
shocking names.
Their marketing is so good.
Yeah.
Their marketing is the best.
Yeah. So that's I Am Trash.
Yeah.
We should move on to the next one.
Do let's.
And the next one is a fragrance created by Ralf Schwieger. If you are not familiar with his name, he did Lipstick Rose for Frederic Malle, and his name will come up twice in this list. This is the Afternoon of a Faun.
This one is like an old school classic fragrance.
So good. This is so good.
So many amazing ingredients like blended together, and it's so...
Should we do a strip? Use a strip.
Here's the perfume guy smelling strip.
Woohoo!
To clarify for the people.
That came out weird.
Well, the people who are just listening and not watching needed that clarification.
I really like the Oakmoss and the Immortelle combo. It's kind of grassy and dry, like autumn-like smell, Immortelle. There's the resins, the rose in there, the powdery Orris. It's really, really great.
It's what he said. It's got a greenness to it, but in a kind of wild way that does make you think of a faun or some sort of fairy tale, but like Midsummer Night's Dream kind of fairy tale. Like ye olde, like...
You know we discovered this fragrance together.
Did we?
We discovered it in Italy, in Florence, at Pitti Fragranza.
I'd heard of it, but I hadn't smelled it.
Yeah, so
He's right.
The other thing is, this one does come alive in the heat so well. It smells super sexy in the heat.
This is not readily available. Like, if you do have a perfume store that carries ETAT LIBRE DORANGE, this might not be on the shelf. It's kind of, you have to...
Online order, probably.
Look for it or whatever, but it's
a good one.
Because I don't think that the sort of complicated, dense, classic perfumery scents are kind of as mainstream these
They're not.
days.
No, yeah, I wouldn't call this mainstream. Definitely classic leaning, but
Gorgeous.
I'm a big fan of
and
vintage.
the name. And did you not see this like labelage and this loveliness here, people?
The labelage and the loveliness.
Well, but let's also talk about the caps in case the people do not know. They have the like heavy sort of magnetic.
They are pretty heavy and they are very
Good.
magnetic.
Very, yeah. They've got the branding and the marketing like down.
All right, next we've got the Ghost in the Shell.
I like everything about this, except it doesn't work on my skin.
Uh-oh. This is a fragrance created by Julie Masse. I like the name, and it's inspired sort of by that character. Is it anime?
It probably is. I don't know the character, but it is a very ghostly, light sort of skin scent. It's very pretty.
It's got skin as a note, by the way, and a lot of other synthetic molecular notes like Aqual, Orcanox, vinyl guaiacol, Mugane, hexyl acetate, along with milk, jasmine, moss, and yuzu.
It's a very deconstructed jasmine, though, and it's a very... It's a soft, delicate... Something about it makes me think of the peony flower. But that's not a note. That's just my interpretation of it.
I get Mugay.
Oh, like Lily of the Valley?
Lily of the Valley. Although because it's got Mugane, I think that's...
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that could be related. My body chemistry is very temperamental, so there are a lot of fragrances that don't work on me.
Do you think it's the milk that doesn't work on you? Because it is very milky.
Very probably.
Very creamy. Do you enjoy milky notes?
Not generally.
Not generally. But yeah, I like this one. And also the bottle is nice and frosted. It's not one of the shiny bottles. Pretty. I enjoy it.
I wish... I've almost bought it several times, and I've had to just be honest with myself that it doesn't work on my skin.
If it doesn't work, you can't. Why bother?
Its skin is the final ingredient,
yes,
as we say. What else we got?
So we've got this one right here.
This one's pretty.
Una MOURET,
Very
Roland
subtle.
MOURET. MOURET? Una MOURET? Is it AMOURET?
What, do I look French?
You do speak French, don't you?
Not really.
Let's get a strip for this one. I can't remember this one, but I do remember shooting a video with Mr. Etienne. And he is a fan of this one. It's one of his favorites.
As well, but it's a there but not there. It kind of blends into what you're doing, and it's very, I think, like you got dressed today kind of a scent.
To me, I feel like it's a bit subtle, like Dahlia says, but it's got like a patchouli-esque backbone. It's created by Daniela Andrier, who works at Givaudan, and they're using Akigalawood as the proprietary note. And that is basically a cleaned-up patchouli, and also has neroli, there's a powdery iris, and a bit of sweetness from vanilla. I think it's a great scent.
Mouth-watering.
It's just not very loud.
It's not loud, but it's there. It's not fully a skin scent. It just is sort of like in the background, making things classier.
This one, I think if you put it on and you're not moving around, it'll stay on you and not project off of you. With a little body heat, I think the projection will come on, because in the end, Akigalawood is patchouli.
It's on my wish list.
Yeah.
Lovely. Actually, I have it in a small travel size.
Oh, you do?
So I will eventually have the full bottle.
Okay. Yeah, that one's also a bit peppery. So if you like peppery fragrances, do you get the pepper?
Yeah, now that you mention it, I totally do.
Isn't it funny when you mention something, you get it, but you don't really, like, sometimes you don't notice it?
It's just in the experience of the scent and the loveliness of that construction.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got a fragrance called You or Someone Like You. Probably the most popular of this house. It's been a big popular fragrance for them. And it's nothing really truly original or groundbreaking, but it smells so good. And the mint in here is so, so authentic. I grew up with mint. We use it a lot in my culture, and the mint does smell real, not like toothpaste, and absolutely love it. What do you think? Mint doesn't work on you, though.
Mint doesn't work on me.
Why doesn't it work on you?
I don't know. I love mint. I drink mint tea almost every single day, and when I put it on my skin, it smells terrible. I love it on other people.
Okay. Yeah, this is very fresh, though. It's green, it's aromatic, citrusy, a bit rosy. Super, super amazing. I think this is definitely great. Let us know if you're a fan of this one, because I do get a sense that that's probably one of the most popular from that house. But moving on to a very damaged bottle
I was gonna say, we need to have a little conversation about
yeah, she was an anomaly.
She is an anomaly. Like, what did you do?
So yeah, this bottle's gone through a bit. It got knocked on another bottle and it cracked on the side, so I had to tape it up, but unfortunately it's actually, you know, fizzling away. Created by Daniela Andrier. It's a very powdery, musky fragrance with some sweetness and some fruity touches and some smoke. It's really great. It's a sandalwood musk combo pretty much, and so it's very, very powdery. Do you want to try that?
I don't know.
Do you like sandalwood?
Sometimes.
Do you like musk?
Sometimes. You know, it's all very dependent on, do I like plums? Sometimes. I don't know she was an anomaly very well, and I'm actually a little scared to even make this bottle work. So
don't do it. But I just wanted to highlight it as a great scent, and it does have a bit of a baby powder-like milkiness in the background, and I think it becomes like that because of that sweetness that's in there, that vanilla orchid or whatever that's in there. But moving on to a very popular fragrance from this house, Jasmine et Cigarette.
Now my bottle is actually green. The liquid is like green.
When did you buy yours?
Years ago.
So I bought this recently when ETAT LIBRE DORANGE USA website was doing a promotion, buy one and get one for free. So I got the True Lust for free, and I got that one. So maybe it's newer, that's why.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
this one's beautiful.
this is really great. I know people that wear it who are not in the perfume connection at all, and they absolutely love it. Created by Antoine Maisondu, and it's jasmine tobacco with hay and apricots, musk, cedar, cumin. Do you get the cumin?
I don't get the cumin. I've had such an interesting trajectory with this one on the cigarette front. I think the bottle has really kind of aged like a fine wine for me, because when I first got it, I couldn't really smell the tobacco at all. I could just smell this sort of like powdery quality that was like cigarette paper. I didn't get tobacco, but then as I've had it, as I mentioned, for a few years, the jasmine is still dewy and very sort of like almost like Technicolor hyper real. But
really?
But the tobacco has kind of come forward a lot, and it's not like an ashtray. It's not like that.
You don't get the ashtray? I get ashtray. I get ash.
I don't at all.
I like that. Because of that, I like that, because it cuts through the jasmine, and the jasmine's not in your face, kind of like, it's jasmine, it's floral, but that tobacco tones it down and balances it out for me, but in an ashy way.
I have a very different wear of it, but it has changed on either I've changed or the bottle has kind of settled as I've had it, but
we do change.
Yes.
And sometimes I fall out of love with fragrances.
And then I fall back in love with some of them sometimes.
Some of them.
Yeah.
All right, next we've got a chestnut-focused fragrance. It is Frustration from last year.
Yeah.
And Etienne, the owner of the brand, was here in San Francisco. We got to meet him.
I have a signed bottle of this where he wrote me sort of a poem on the bottle.
Well, that's cool. He's a nice guy.
I'm a little bit in love with him.
If you want to watch any videos with Etienne de Sword, please tune into the channel. I've got one video shot at Lucky Scent Bar in New York City and one here in San Francisco at ZGO Perfumery. This is created by Mathilde Bijou, who's also done several fragrances for the brand. It's vanilla, vanilla absolute, chestnuts, rum, cinnamon, cumin, labdanum, vetiver, guaiacol. I get cumin a little bit.
It doesn't say tobacco, but my experience with this is very something next to pipe tobacco, and it might just be the way they've used vanilla in here.
I could see that. There
is a lovely tactile, sort of like the letters are raised on the label.
I like these bottles. I do like these bottles.
The packaging is always just stellar with this brand.
But you traditionally don't like gourmands. Do you consider this gourmand?
I would say it's gourmand adjacent. It is not a dessert, but it has components of desserts.
Okay. I think it's a good one. If you like the idea of chestnuts,
Chestnuts
Get it?
roasting.
by the time this video airs, it's not going to be the holidays anymore.
How is it possible to mention chestnuts and not
sing that song? Yeah, we gotta.
Okay, moving on.
So if you guys haven't heard, ETAT LIBRE DORANGE has a fragrance, or had a fragrance called Tom of Finland.
Who was Tom of Finland?
Do you want to explain to them who Tom of Finland is?
Was a cartooner, drawer, artist of a very muscular, kind of leather wearing men, very sexualized.
Yeah. So they had a fragrance called Tom of Finland, which no longer, it's been renamed to Clean Suede. So it's interesting also, when I got this bottle, it was not this color. It was clear.
Really?
It changed to this color, surprisingly. And now they've put it in a black bottle because that happens, I think. This would stain.
Well, maybe your jasmine and cigarette will get green.
Maybe.
Maybe mine's gotten greener and I just didn't notice.
This is from like 2018. So quite a bit ago. But yeah, it's a great leather fragrance. I almost consider this like a gourmand light, like Dahlia said, gourmand adjacent kind of a leather. There's some sweetness in there, but a very soft leather, not a rough leather, which I almost think that it doesn't really match Tom of Finland, but then maybe it does.
There's a softness. I mean,
do you get smokiness? Because I associate smokiness with a rougher leather. This is a very smooth leather for me.
It's a club vibe, though. It's a certain kind of club, I would guess. And
yeah.
I know I always kind of interpreted Tom of Finland's drawings as being sort of with a lot of love, even though they're totally like fetishy. Mm-hmm. So
okay. Anyway, that's created by Antoine Lee. And speaking of Antoine Lee, he's got two other fragrances here. They're Rien and then also Rien Intense Incense. And that's the video that Dahlia and I have done probably back in 2017 or 2018.
Was that long ago?
Somewhere around there.
Wow.
Yeah. That was when I was shooting at home still.
These
are amazing.
These are maybe my favorites.
I think they're one of my favorites of this.
Strong contenders.
It's actually an acquired taste and also kind of vintage-esque because they have the aldehydes note in here. Yeah, so if you like that sort of thing. The Rien is a lot softer. The Intense Incense is a lot more rougher. And for me, Rien Intense Incense reminds me of Kouros.
Okay. It does have a
old school vibe.
But the intense version has a little bit of like it's skank, but it's skank that I can handle. And I am sensitive to the skank. It is, but it's got a
good funk. It's got a good funk.
It's the right kind of funk for me.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of, it's not leather, but there is leather.
I think you and I are similar when it comes to handling funk. Although I might be able to tolerate a little more funk than you can. But we absolutely love this fragrance, the Rien Intense Incense. The right amount of funk, the right amount of aldehydes, the right amount of incense.
I would say this is practically perfect in every way. They both are. I mean, this takes aldehydes, which you think you know. You think ivory soap. You think you have a sense of aldehydes, and then it takes what you think about aldehydes and blows it out into just something you didn't know was possible.
It's not Chanel number 5.
It's amazing.
But you know, the reason I connected with Kouros is also leather and aldehydes. This is kind of similar. So maybe a modern version of Kouros.
And the pepper is also kind of giving it just a little fizzy life along with the Do you think this is a churchy incense?
No, I don't get church at all.
I don't either, but you know, many people, that's the first thing they go to with incense. But this just takes all of that in a different direction.
No church for me. It's darker, much darker. So next up, we've got Experimentum Crucis.
I don't know this one. We're going to have to...
This is another Givaudan perfumer. And I think Antoine Lee used to work with Givaudan as well, because he's done several fragrances here with other Givaudan perfumers. But this is Quintambiche Experimentum Crucis, Akigalawood, rose, cumin, patchouli, musk, honey, jasmine, apples, and lychee. For me, this is in that ballpark of reminding me of fragrances that Quintan has done for Marc-Antoine Barrois. It's got that kind of a vibe.
It's in that sort of ghost in the shell space of very light, effervescent. It has apples like I Am Trash, but it's not as appley as I Am Trash.
No, this is, it's there.
It has lychee, which makes me think of Ghost in the Shell, even though I don't remember if it has lychee, but it's that kind of very light fruit, kind of almost floral.
Do you consider this light?
Sir.
Do you consider this light?
On the strip. I don't know. I haven't worn it.
Oh, yeah. This one's not that light to me.
No, it's not. Not when you spray it
It's
17
pretty
times.
potent.
That's interesting, though, because on you I'm getting more rose than I am on the strip.
Do you get the cumin?
Not yet.
So this reminds me of Marc-Antoine Barrois' Ganymede with a rose. So if you like Ganymede, check this one out. Do you like that house, Marc-Antoine Barrois?
I don't really know what that... Is that the B6?
Yeah,
that one?
B683 and Ganymede.
I like them. I have not fallen in love yet.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
give it time.
All right. So this is Experimentum Crucis. Alrighty, next up we've got Fat Electrician, this one right here. This is one really stood out for me when I visited the ETAT LIBRE DORANGE boutique. There used to be a guy there by the name of Tomas who explained all of their fragrances. And the story about this one is a washed-up actor who wasn't able to get a job, so he became fat and became an electrician. And so, but a very interesting fragrance, right?
I think this one has changed. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
Changed to what?
It is not how I remembered it. It was...
is this the first fragrance you wore from this house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it was many years ago, so I was, maybe I'm not remembering it right.
I think it hasn't changed, but I discovered it around 2015, and I absolutely love it. It's kind of like a gourmand take on vetiver, and vetiver and gourmand is kind of weird. It's got that candied chestnut note in here, which adds that sweetness, nuttiness. Huh?
Should I sing it again?
Sing it.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
It's not Christmas anymore.
Well, technically.
We're shooting this before Christmas, but this is going to go up after Christmas.
Yeah.
But this Fat Electrician is a good vetiver if you like
it is.
Some sweetness with your dry, grassy, earthy.
And for the ladies watching, vetiver tends to, and in my mind, be a more masculine note. This is a vetiver that I was able to wear. I do think it is different than when I wore it, but if you're interested in fragrances that are sort of very, very unisex, this one's a good one to sample.
I like this. Yeah. One of my favorites from the house. This is the first fragrance I purchased from this house, from the boutique.
Really?
This is, used to be called Tilda Swinton Like This. Now it's just called Like This. So Tilda Swinton was involved in the creation of this fragrance.
I like her.
This is, we didn't say who created Fat Electrician. It's Antoine Maisondieu. This is Mathilde Bajau, once again, who created Frustration. And this is pumpkins, immortelle, ginger, tangerine, musk, heliotrope, vetiver, neroli, rose.
There is quite a bit of musk, to be fair.
There is a lot of musk. Oh, it's good.
It's good.
I like the pumpkin and the immortelle together. It's an autumn fragrance come to life. Immortelle and pumpkins together, what more can you ask for autumn?
It is a very sharp kind of musk. There's a sharpness. It might be from the ginger.
You think? Ginger, yeah, has a zing and a bite, so maybe that is it. But this is definitely still a favorite of mine from this house.
And this was the first one you got from
This is the first one I bought from their boutique.
Like this.
Like this.
Yeah, I gotta spend more time with that.
The next one we've got Exit the King.
Rafe is back.
And I've got a video on the channel with Mr. Etienne. Etienne and I did a Zoom video during the pandemic when this came out, so you can catch that. This is a Chypre-like fragrance, right?
This is
soapy Chypre.
Very soapy. Very soapy, but like soapy, a soap bomb.
It is a soap bomb. It's foamy.
Yes.
It's very foamy.
It's like one of those Barbasol kinds of things, but like exploded in your bathroom. And
I want that to happen someday.
I don't want to clean up after that, but I would like to see the like short film made about it happening.
It's good. So Cécile Matan and Ralf Schwieger created this. It's musk, patchouli, ambroxan, sandalwood, pink pepper, and Timur pepper.
It's the aldehydes though also that give it that sort of
fizzy,
soapy gigantic
blast.
Yeah. This I would also put in the same category as Fat Electrician of like many of these things we're talking about could be seen as traditionally masculine. It could kind of come across as an aftershave or but I wear it and I don't think it's too masculine. I think it's very solidly unisex.
I've heard people say it's feminine. Is it because it's a Chypre?
But I think that's the mark of a good unisex is that some people think it's feminine and other people think it's masculine. But I would say it's bang on the line. Bang on the line. Right down the middle. And then moving on to Spice Must Flow. Did you like Dune? I'm not a big fan of Dune, but I remember the track by Eon from 1991, The Spice Must Flow. Yeah. This is a rose and incense bomb. I read all of Dune and loved it. You did? Mm-hmm. I haven't seen any of the movies. I haven't seen it. I I did see the old movie, but like so long ago, I barely remember it. I am that snob who's like, I read the book.
I'm not a sci-fi guy. You are a sci-fi gal.
Oh, yes, 100.
This is lots of rose though with
like
incense.
this.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
like this.
It's cardamom and ginger, so fresh spices with some jammy rose touches and smoke.
Everything seconded. Yes, jammy rose, spices.
It's good. It's good. I was expecting oud in this one. There's no oud.
Yeah, so it doesn't. It has a little bit of like a touch of that Middle Eastern jammy rose.
I was just going to say Middle Eastern, and you took the words out of my mouth.
Well, the cardamom is also very kind of in that palette, but it doesn't have the oud that often comes along with cardamom and rose.
But do you get also saffron? I'm picking up some
I get
saffron.
a little of that leathery kind of action, but I keep just like
Saffron action. Saffraction.
love. We're only saying that from now on.
Saffraction.
Love it. Yes, here for it. Agreed on all.
So next up we've got
Hermann.
a very complicated, we just call it Hermann, but it's Amekot me parasat un hombre.
Whoa.
Such a long name. I can't do it justice with my French. Can you do it?
No. No, I mean maybe, but I'm completely sober, and that's not the right.
In my video with Etienne, shot at the Scent Bar in New York City, he referred to this one as one of his favorites.
I love this.
Yeah, it's good.
This is also
Earthy.
This and Un AMOURETTE have been on my wish list for a long time, and I just can't. But I love them.
So this is Quentin Biche once again. He does great work, really great
The
work.
rose in this one is so good.
But what I like about it is the geosmin. It smells like earth, wet, damp earth.
This is amazing. I'm just gonna put some on.
Yeah, put it on. Come on.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This is really good.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one.
Ooh.
So if you don't know Hermann, just call it Hermann. Check it out. It's a
Yeah.
good one from
Hermann.
ELDO.
But it's also like that black currant kind of cassis is not a U.S. kind of thing. It's not like I read this whole article or saw this whole thing about like how black currant and cassis is like super popular as a flavor in Europe, and it's just not a thing
In
the
France,
US.
you can get a liqueur. It's called Cassis. It's so delicious,
This
too.
rose, and you know I love galbanum. You bring out the galbanum in me.
Do remember, we've been corrected by somebody. It's galbanum.
Feel free to correct me. They don't like how you say peony.
Galbanum. Peony.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Peony. Is it lychee? Lychee.
Everyone's gonna be upset about something.
Yeah. Anyway.
You're
gonna buy that today.
This has a camphoric kind of quality to it as well.
I think it's
like,
the geosmin.
Ooh, that's good. That's really nice and cold.
I like it.
I
It's
like
good.
that.
It's
That's
very earthy.
Delightful.
Delightful. So next up, we've got 3 bottles from Dahlia's collection, which I need to pick up. First of which is Archive 69, which is the address for the boutique in Paris.
I think you will really enjoy this one on because it completely changes on skin.
Oh.
I get bubblegum, but like old school bazooka bubblegum that when you start to chew the bubblegum, it's like really hard.
Really?
And then give it a.
It says camphor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right?
Wow.
I know.
It's good.
Give it a little. You already spritzed something, but like the benzoin, I think contributes to the. It's like benzoin and plum and pink pepper that gives it.
That's delicious.
It's right.
There's a fizziness about it too.
Yes, it is not gourmand, but it's not candied. But there is a sweetness.
The smokiness.
There's nothing like it that I've smelled.
This is really good, actually. This is the first time I'm smelling Archive 69.
Should we have like maybe the back of your hand?
Yeah. This is created by Christine Nagel, who is now the in-house perfumer at Hermes.
Ooh la la.
But yeah.
It's
nice.
Good. And it changes based on the weather. It changes based on the it's a very
That's really good, actually.
Temperamental is not the right word, but it has a little bit of a magical mood ring quality.
Why am I getting church with this one?
Well, there is a little incense, isn't there?
Yeah, there is incense in here. No, I like this a lot. I like the
really-
camphor. And then the fizziness is probably what's maybe contributing to that bubblegumminess.
Yeah, but do you get bubblegum?
Something in the background is bubblegum-like.
Yeah, it's the same way. I don't know if you guys know Sal Ghost by Frederick Malle, but it's that same kind of like there, but like you might miss it bubblegum, where if you think about bubblegum, it's like, yes, bazooka, bubblegum.
For me, I get bubblegum from white flowers, like tuberose.
Oh, yeah, could be.
But this is a different kind of bubblegum. More of old school bubblegum, not a white flower bubblegum.
Yeah.
That's good, though.
I like that one, too.
So we've got another one called Cologne.
Oh, this one is beautiful.
Cologne, I've always wanted to buy, but I've got so many colognes from all over.
This one is a heartbreaker, okay? First of all, gorgeous, like a compact disc from Days of Yore. This one will break your heart because it is gone in 30 seconds. But it is the most gorgeous 30 seconds.
This is created by Alexandra Kosinski. It's bergamot, blood orange, green notes, orange blossom, jasmine, musk, and leather. Do you get leather? Oh, it's very peppery.
So
Whoa!
pretty.
Why am I reminded of Patchouli Intense from Nikolai?
I don't know.
Wow.
It's so good, though.
It's like a fresh take on Patchouli Intense by Nikolai.
It's so pretty.
That's good.
It's so juicy. It's so, but it's like...
To me, it's dry, though. On
Really?
skin, maybe the juice comes out.
I get...
That sounds weird.
Yes, but we're going to just go with it.
Okay.
It's the kind of thing where it's like the way he does any fragrance. This is one of the ones where I can spray it 70 times and just be like in this cloud of juicy gorgeousness because it's gone. Like, it doesn't matter how much you spray.
Sometimes fragrances are gone. They get away from us.
This is one that you try, even on your clothes and hair, it's just, but that
Unless you wear Followed. Have you ever put Followed on from Kerosene?
you've told me about these
Oh my
fragrance
God.
laster
It's
enhancer.
extreme.
And they don't affect the scent of the. They don't they just make it last longer. It doesn't affect how it smells.
Oh, it just smells like maple syrup.
I do like maple syrup. Anyway,
right.
That one is very lovely as well.
And then we've got Eau de Protection, which is created by Antoine Lee and Antoine Maisonneuve.
Yeah, was also, it used to be called Parfum de Rossi or something like that.
Yeah, this one was involving Rossi de Palma, the
Right.
actress, the Spanish actress. So they've done a lot of collaborations with the different actors and actresses.
This was a blind buy for me, and
I've always heard that this is a metallic rose.
Yes, it's got a little dragon, which I think is so cute, and it is a metallic rose. You took the words out of my mouth now.
Oh, it's very rosy.
Yeah, but
It's not metallic here, though.
colder rose. It's not jammy at all. It's a drier kind of rose.
I think the black pepper might be contributing to its...
But there's ginger as well, so there's that kind of, but
metallic
it's a
touch.
dry. I don't know what's making it, but it is a colder kind of a. I have when I've posted it, I've gotten a lot of comments from people who say I don't like rose, but I like this.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, what's not to like about rose, though? Rose is one of the most gorgeous smells ever.
Yeah, but people have associations because
Grandma?
Well,
Is that what it is?
the jammy roses.
What's
can
wrong
be
with
too
grandma?
sweet.
Grandmas are nice.
Grandmas are nice. I like rose, but I do like some roses better than others.
Yeah. We've got one last fragrance. It's called True Lust, which we both own. This is my bottle, which I got for free when I bought Jasmine at Cigarette.
Why didn't we bring my bottle?
Because yours is...
Jacked.
Yeah, it's in a video, so you can go search that.
Yeah, look through the channel.
That bottle is jacked.
It's almost as bad as this.
But this is super sexy because I discovered it through Dahlia.
Mm-hmm.
It's leather, violet, rum, coconut, rose, osmanthus, ylang ylang, sandalwood, and ambergris. There's definitely a cumin touch in here, which adds a sweaty sexiness. That's so super soper. Delicious.
Listen, okay, so what happened was there was this limited edition candle
Ooh.
by Sir Trudon years ago that was violet and leather. And I have been hunting for a violet that reminds me of that candle ever since. I have so many violet fragrances. I don't care for violet leaves. I like violet flower. I like when there's...
But this is what really got me to enjoy violets.
Yeah.
I was not a violet fan before. I hated
You like
violets.
lipstick rose, which...
I do. But this is what really, the sexiness of that cumin in here is what really got me to appreciate violets. But the only problem is, this is discontinued.
I hate when they do
If
that.
you can find a bottle, get it, because it's super sexy. Otherwise, that's the only fragrance here we have that's discontinued, except for the...
My bottle, as jacked as it is as such a strong projector as well. It is a room filler.
Yeah.
And it's this kind of musky sort of violet. It's just a very sex forward scent.
I like that, sex forward.
And speaking of sex forward, we should mention the honorable mention.
Yes, we did not mention Secretions Magnifique.
Now that is what
Major
this
turnoff.
brand is kind of put them on the map.
Do you like it? I can't wear it. It's nasty.
Okay, here's
nasty.
the thing.
Ugh.
Originally, Secretions Magnifique was all of the
Blood, sweat, tears, semen.
yes. And it really does smell like bodily fluids. There are people who passionately love this.
I can't stand it.
And on some people, it is a very sexy scent. I'm not one of those people.
It smells sharp and metallic.
I remember early on when I was at a perfume event, somebody like sprayed it on and was just like, here, and like gave me their arm, and it was literally like,
oh,
yeah,
God,
like,
shock.
You know, but it is shock. It was intended to be shocking. It was.
Sometimes people want to be shocked with their nose.
But it was so out there, and it was so just like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. That it was great marketing and buzz for the brand, and people do love it.
Some people do love it. And I think that's also created by Antoine Lee, isn't it?
I don't remember, but it is a very extreme. I think it's been reformulated. I don't think it's as intense as it was.
Everything is getting reformulated, sadly.
Well, but I think ingredients change and distributors change and sourcing changes and people
change.
Yeah, but the name is still there. But if you,
yeah.
Wow, that one really was a shocking. The reason we don't have it is that neither one of us particularly likes it.
I need to just buy it to keep it in the studio for people that come in for sniff sessions.
But I like that it exists.
Yeah.
I like that somebody made it. I like that it is taking a natural sort of, like the natural weird smells that we produce as people and making it beautiful or trying to.
Okay, girl.
It didn't work for me.
No.
But
No. It's the sharpest fragrance I put my nose on. It's almost like a knife cutting through your nose. That's how metallic it is.
It's very strong.
Yeah, weird.
It's very strong.
Weird.
But it's, you know, it's a great concept.
Yeah. Anyway, this is True Lust. We finished with this already, but we don't know who the perfumer is. Sadly, it is discontinued. And then also, if you guys want to get your nose on Secretions Magnifique, I have it linked in the info box. You can do that. But this was fun. We got through 21 ETAT LIBRE D'ORANGE fragrances. They're not necessarily the most hyped, but they have some great fragrances.
They should be the most hyped.
Okay.
They're one of my favorite brands.
Yeah, they're a good house. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. If you want to follow Dahlia, you can on Instagram at the Perfumed Dahlia. But other than that, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, also at TikTok. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.